contracts. Wow. But I've read both, Stellantis and VW. And do you know what's not in them? Any requirement that jobs at these plants be Canadians only. Canadians don't believe this, Prime Minister, and since I've read the contracts, I don't either. The NDP Liberals are hiding the truth. If this Prime Minister has contractual job guarantees, he will have no problem proving me wrong.
That's right.
Will the Liberals release the contracts, yes or no?
Hey gang, what's up? Just Aaron right here, Question Period Canada. How y'all doing? Do you recognize Rick Perkins from the introduction there? He's discussing these contracts where we're giving away our tax dollars to foreign investing companies. It's not good. Canadians aren't protected. We're not going to get the jobs we deserve. And unions are fed up. Rick gets very deep into it here. He's articulate in committee. And there's this other Liberal minister. Boy, oh boy, he's a pain in the butt. Let's check out this piece from OGGO Committee. It's uber interesting, and you'll remember Rick Perkins after this piece. I bet you will. Let's check it out.
Next on the list, Mr. Perkins.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm pleased to speak on the amendment to Mr. Genuis's motion, and I was struck by some of the things that MP Kmirchuk said, and he may not have thought we were listening, we were, but I was particularly struck by the fact that he said his community's been through hell the last 8 years. I can understand why on this Liberal government, why his community's been through hell in the last 8 years, and I
point of order, Mr. Chair. Point of order, Mr. Chair. I don't appreciate Mr. Perkins putting words in my mouth that I did not speak. So, if you could take that back, I'd appreciate it, especially on an issue as important as this.
Point of order, Chair. I don't appreciate Mr. Kuzmarchuk not knowing that not appreciating something is not a point of order. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Perkins. Continue, please.
Thank you. So, contrary to what MP Kmirchuk said, Indu is not doing a study on this issue. I don't know why he keeps saying it. Perhaps he was having some challenges with the internet connection when I was speaking earlier to it, when I said that Indu is in the middle of Bill C-27, the government's bill on privacy and artificial intelligence, on doing clause by clause the 256 amendments that have been proposed, all of them substantive from including the 55 amendments from the broken bill that the government proposed to their own legislation. So there is no ongoing study of this, and it's misleading to say that, even though he heard me say it earlier. And the reason we're here is because this isn't me, this is the union. The union, the Canadian Building Trades Union, saying that this is happening. Not only, let me get into some specifics, since apparently the $50 billion of subsidy, they kind of missed the point, the Liberals, that they should be Canadian jobs if you're going to subsidize. So here's what the union is saying, that LG has instructed GEL and Dejin, they are subcontractors on employment, to use eligible Korean nationals and Mexican nationals that could qualify for a certain work visa on the site, and even told them to seek out refugee claimants in Canada who could perform the work. This is apparently in an effort to keep their costs low. Nexstar is increasingly tapping into two contractors which are using foreign workers to take work originally promised to local contractors. This includes work on multi-million-dollar press line and installing module lines. CBTU has said and told folks that they have lots of proof that foreign workers are performing this unspecialized work, that they have unionized members or unemployed that could be doing this. In fact, after the Prime Minister met with Nexstar on March 14th, the union actually amped up their hiring of foreign workers after talking to him. So be curious as to what was discussed in that meeting, that they felt after meeting the Prime Minister, they could actually hire more foreign workers for the construction. And there is no pause going on, as was claimed. That's the reason the union wrote this letter. There is no pause. In fact, they've got to the point where they're frustrated. And even after the threat of going to the media, they had yet another meeting, the union did, with management to try and get an MOU, an understanding on not having foreign replacement workers. These are workers, just to be clear, that Canadians can be hired for, that are available for work, but are being replaced by people not from Canada. That's generally known as a foreign person coming in to replace workers in Canada, a foreign replacement worker. And that is what's happening by this plant. The government's clearly, if they believe they have the contract, says that they can only hire Canadians or a limited number. I can tell you, at one point, Nexstar said they were going to hire 600 full-time foreign replacement workers in the running of the plant, and Nexstar also said they would have up to 1,000 foreign replacement workers. That was in the media. They changed their tune once they started to get public pressure by this committee and others. So the issue is that this is a real issue. It's not something that the government says Conservatives are making up. This is the letter from the union. Perhaps they didn't hear it. I could read it again, Mr. Chair, if just in case some of the members' earpieces weren't working. I'll leave that. But if you don't know this, this is the Government of Canada's website. Material handler for the plant. Language is needed. Korean. This is the Government of Canada's own website, and it says who can apply. Candidates with or without a valid Canadian work permit. That's on the Government of Canada's website. Nexstar Energy, recognize the logo? A general affairs specialist, hardly some specialized worker from Korea that needs to come here. It's a, let's see, the state of the general affairs specialist. You will be responsible for various aspects of the company's operations, providing administrative and organizational support. Your tasks will be related to the efficient functioning of the office and ensuring smooth and daily operations of the company. Responsibilities, it says here: office management and organization, correspondence handling and mail management, coordination of meetings and events, administrative support for various departments, document management and archiving, managing office supplies and inventory. These are really specialized tools that only Koreans have. Support HR in recruitment and training, building and managing positive relationship with vendors and clients, assisting with travel arrangements for employees, ensuring compliance with safety and company policies, requirements, experience in a similar role or related field, strong organizational and multitasking skills, excellent verbal and written skills. They sound like very specialized, unique things that you can only find in South Korea. Fluency in Korean. Fluency in Korean. But that's not all, Mr. Chair. Another general affairs specialist. Similar types of things. More office management. A separate posting by Nexstar. Korean preferred. Material handler. Asset. Korean. General affairs specialist requires fluency in Korean. Electrode quality engineer. Bilingual in English and Korean. Module production planner, English and Korean proficiency. Quality management systems, global experience preferred. Module production technician, language requirement. Oh, let's read and write in English. Hey, we found one. Cell electrode quality engineer, bilingual in English and Korean. It goes on and on and on. Now, MP Kimerchuk clearly isn't looking at the job sites when he is making this defense of his government, which I understand why he's doing. He's embarrassed. He's embarrassed by the fact that his government didn't think to put the words employ Canadians when they made this commitment. He's embarrassed by the fact that the company has said they're going to hire up to 1,000 construction workers that are from outside the specialists. 1,000. So 600 Canadians, 1,000 foreign workers. I guess it takes 1,000 specialized people to oversee 600 general construction workers. And 500 to 600 permanent workers from Korea out of 2,500. This is not some sort of one or two here. This is a serious issue. This is $15 billion in taxpayer production subsidies in this plant. This is $500 million in construction costs from the taxpayer being paid. If you're going to do business with the Government of Canada and you're going to suck all this government taxpayer money, Volkswagen, Stellantis, Northvolt, Honda, if you're going to take that money, you better be prepared for some public scrutiny. You better be prepared to prove that you're hiring Canadians. And it's beyond me why the NDP does not want clarity on this. The motion at the industry committee, by the way, for those of you who don't watch the clock, ended an hour ago. That's why people are here. Ended an hour ago. That motion was only to have the ministers appear. It wasn't to actually have the contract. It wasn't there to have the contract released.
Order, please.
The contract to be released. I'd love to have the union to come.
Yeah.
Just voted against that.
Then let's have him here.
Mr.
Let's have him
Massey,
here.
Mr. Perkins.
I have the floor.
Mr.
So,
Perkins, please continue.
why won't you release the contracts? What's wrong with it? Why are you afraid to release the job conditions in the contracts? Because there is no Canadian requirement for Canadian jobs in those contracts. And again, I look around the table. Only one person here at this table has read the contracts, and it isn't anyone on the government side or Mr. Kmirchuk, who's sitting in wherever he's sitting, attending this committee. And it isn't, to be fair, my colleagues. I've read the contracts, and there's no government commitment requirement in that contract. I can tell you what's not in it. I can't tell you what's in it, but I can tell you what's not in it. A commitment that the jobs have to be Canadian. That's why we need to have this done. This is the union saying this stuff is happening. I don't understand why the NDP Liberals don't want to get the clarity of the contracts. Why don't they want to get clarity of the contracts? Release them.
Colleagues,
That's
Mr. Perkins, I'm going to interrupt. We're running out of resources, and because of the continual interruption, I'm going to suspend for question period.
Super interesting, right? What is going on? Where are the Canadian jobs? Why aren't we protected? Why don't we get to see the contract? I've got a feeling we are going to get to see the contract. These OGGO committee investigations meetings, they really get somewhere. I've been watching now for a while, and you see results. Christian Firth, ask him if there's a consequence to these investigations. It's super interesting, guys. My name's Aaron. This is Question Period Canada. Rick Perkins is one to watch. Come and watch the live question periods. We broadcast that stuff live every day. It's a fun chat room, a great community. Come and hang out with us. Aaron, Question Period Canada, like, subscribe, get notified, share, all those fun things. Check out another video that's floating around here. That's it. We'll catch you next video. Thank you for watching this one. I find OGGO Committee very interesting. Check out any videos that we have about that. Catch you next time, guys. Thanks for watching.